In this video, we will graph rational functions. If you have not watched part 1 of this video, I suggest you do so now. So we've already talked about vertical and horizontal asymptotes and whether or not a function crosses the asymptote. So now, with this information, we can put it together to graph a rational function. So in general, we want to do the following. We want to first find the domain. And as we saw before, that will give us our vertical asymptotes. Then we want to find our horizontal asymptotes, which we do by comparing the degree of the numerator and the denominator. Once we have our horizontal asymptote, we want to know if it crosses, so we set the function equal to the horizontal asymptote and solve. That will give us all of our asymptotes. Other important features of the graph are the x-intercepts, which actually come from the numerator equaling 0. So remember that for a rational function, p of x over q of x, if we want to know where the x-intercepts are, we let this function value or the y value equal 0. And so, if we cross multiply, we get p of x equals 0. So when we're finding our x-intercepts, we can just set the numerator to 0 because what we notice is that the denominator always goes away. Then we're going to find our y-intercepts. That comes from setting x equal to 0. And then we'll plot any additional points if we think we need them. And then we'll sketch the graph using logic. We'll ask ourselves, could it be in this section? Do we have the right points? Or if not, where does the graph need to be? So we're going to do that, and you should be able to do these 7 steps without a calculator. And I will tell you that your calculator very often will give you not wrong information, but misleading information. In other words, you're not going to know exactly where it crosses a horizontal asymptote. You also might miss pieces of your graph entirely because you're not looking at the right window. So you do want to practice doing these by hand. So looking at our first example, f of x equals x minus 5 divided by x minus 3. We're going to start by finding our domain. And our domain comes from the denominator, and we notice that the number that makes x minus 3 equal to 0 is x equals 3. So for the domain, x cannot equal 3, and that leads us to our vertical asymptote, which is x equals 3. Then we want to find our horizontal asymptotes. So if I look at the degree of the numerator, it's 1, and the degree of the denominator is also 1. And since those are the same, we take the lead coefficients and take the ratio, and we get a horizontal asymptote of y equals 1. I would like to know if our graph is going to cross the horizontal asymptote. So I'm going to ask myself, and notice how I am writing things down so that the reader knows what I'm doing. I am going to set this function equal to the horizontal asymptote, which I just calculated to be 1. And remember, if we're going to find out if it crosses, we're going to cross multiply. X minus 5 equals x minus 3. Subtracting x, we get minus 5 equals minus 3, which is not true. So it does not cross. All right, we have all of our asymptotes. So before we go much further, I am going to sketch what we have. So we know that our vertical asymptote is x equals 3, which means it's going to cross the x-axis at 3. So So we're assuming our standard scale here, 1, 2, 3. And then our horizontal asymptote was at y equals 1. So you should draw your asymptotes in with dashed lines. The next thing we want to know is what are the intercepts. So to find the x-intercepts, as we just saw, we'll set the numerator, which is x minus 5, equal to 0, and we'll get x equals 5. So if we put that on our graph, we'll be right here. And to find our y-intercepts, we're going to set the x equal to 0, and that's going to give us 0 minus 5 over 0 minus 3, or 5/3, so a little bit more than 1. And then I can sketch my graph. And in this particular case, I don't need more points. So if we have one vertical asymptote, that red dashed line, we know we're going to have part of the graph to the right and part of the graph to the left. And because I don't have any x-intercepts on the left, I know that this part of the graph, because it has to go through this point, is going to be above that horizontal asymptote, and over here it's going to be below. So let's take a look at a couple of more examples. We have g of x equals x minus 3 divided by x squared minus 5x plus 4. And just to make sure that this is in reduced form, I'm going to factor my denominator, which is x minus 4 and x minus 1. So I notice that I cannot reduce that. So the domain for this function, the domain would be that x cannot equal 4 and x cannot equal 1, because those are the values that would make the denominator 0. And so that translates to our vertical asymptotes, which are equations, x equals 4 and x equals 1. To find my horizontal asymptotes, I look at the degree. And I notice that the degree of the top is 1 and the degree of the bottom is 2, so it's going to be at y equals 0. We also want to know if it's going to cross the horizontal asymptote. So in order to see if it's going to cross the horizontal asymptote, I set the function equal to the horizontal asymptote, which in this case was 0. And we get x minus 3 is 0, or x equals 3. So it does cross. The x-coordinate is 3, and the y-coordinate is our horizontal asymptote, or 0. So let's see what we have so far. We don't have our intercepts yet, but we do have quite a bit. So we have a vertical asymptote at 1 and also at 4. So I'll draw those in with red dashed lines. And our horizontal asymptote is at 0, so that is our x-axis. And we know that it's going to cross the asymptote at 3, 0 right here. Okay, let's find some intercepts. To find the x-intercept, we set the numerator equal to 0, and we get x equals 3. We already have that point because that happens to be where it crosses the axis, or the horizontal asymptote. And to find the y-intercept, we let x equal 0, and we get 0 minus 3 over 0 minus 0 plus 4, or -3/4. So that's going to be about here. So at this point, I have to find a few extra points. I can tell that this first piece has to be here. It doesn't have any x-intercepts, and it does have to go through this y-intercept. But in the middle and to the right of 4, I'm not exactly sure because I don't have enough points to tell me what's going on. So let's find the function value at 5. I'm choosing 5 because it's just over here to the right of the 4. And if I plug in 5, I get 5 minus 3, 25 minus 25 plus 4, or 2/4 or a half. So I'm going to put the point right here, and I can now tell that this piece goes like this. And then for the middle here, let's find the function value at 2. So if I plug in the 2, I get 2 minus 3, which is -1. On the bottom, I'll get 4 minus 10 plus 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8, minus 10 is -2. So -1 over -2 is 1/2. So I can now graph this, and this is where it crosses the axis, and then it's going to go down. Okay, one more example. Let's say we have f of x equals 2x minus 1 over 6x plus 3. So again, I'm going to factor the denominator here. I'll factor out a 3 and get 2x plus 1. So I notice there's no common factors. And my domain is going to be wherever 2x plus 1 cannot equal 0. So x cannot equal -1/2. So that means our vertical asymptote is x equals -1/2. So now we want to find our horizontal asymptotes. And our horizontal asymptotes come from comparing the degrees. And so if we compare the degree of the top, the bottom, we notice we have a degree 1 on the top, a degree 1 on the bottom. So we'll take the ratio of the lead coefficients, and we'll get y equals 1/3. We would also like to know if this is going to cross the asymptote, and so we will set our function 2x minus 1 over 6x plus 3 equal to our horizontal asymptote and cross multiply. So we will have 6x minus 3 equal to 6x plus 3. And if I subtract the 6x's, I get -3 is equal to 3. So no, it does not cross. And then we want to see our x and y intercepts. So for our x-intercepts, we let the numerator equal 0. So if 2x minus 1 equals 0, x is equal to 1/2. And for our y-intercept, we let x equal 0, and we will get y equals -1/3. And then we'll put this all together. So let me draw this scale. So we know we have a vertical asymptote at -1/2. So I will draw that here. I know that I have a horizontal asymptote at +1/3. So I will draw that here. I have an x-intercept of 1/2 and a y-intercept of -1/3. So I'm pretty sure that this piece here is going to look like this. And then on the left-hand side, because I don't have any x-intercepts, it cannot be below the blue asymptote, so it's going to have to be above. And just so I have at least one ordered pair, I'm going to plug in a -1, and so our function value at -1 is going to be -2 minus 1, -6 plus 3, -3 over -3, or 1. So right there. So this is going to look like this. Oops, I shouldn't cross that asymptote, but I got a little wiggly. Okay, for our last example, we want to go the other way. So we want to find the equation of a rational function f of x that satisfies the following. The vertical asymptotes are at 5 and -5. Remember, these come from the denominator. So in our denominator, we're going to have a factor x minus 5 and x plus 5. We have x-intercepts of 2 and -1. And so if I move that over, I get x minus 2 and x plus 1. And those come from the numerator. So we have x minus 2 over x plus 1. And we have some stretch factor that we don't know. But we do know that if we plug in a 0 for x, we should get 4. So if I plug in a 0 for x, I'll get -2 times 1, -5 times 5. So I'll have 4 equals minus 2a over minus 25, or just 2a over 25. And then I'll solve for a. So I'm going to multiply by 25. So now I have 2a equals 100 and a equals 50. So our final function now is f of x equals 50 x minus 2 times x plus 1 over x minus 5 times x plus 5. That concludes this video on graphing rational functions. Part 3 of graphing rational functions will include oblique or slant asymptotes and holes.